I hear hopes I see Joey Ramai. I say, who you calling by me? I see Robin Gopal and Eversley. Ramkila one sing and Dolce. Bhagwan didn't sing crying like a baby. Ram sing Thomas and Sankarali. I dreamt I met these 9 men on death row. They tell the public in case they go. They say he did pay we to kill Errol Spencer. He did pay we to talk to Escobar. All them drug money we give UNC. You know they come back and arrest the hangman on we. They did pay we more than 90,000 to get rid of Selwyn Richardson. But now we control the law, so you ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in hell. And we go grab him, and we go stab him. We waiting patiently to give him trouble. We go choke him penis with a needle, and we go lock him. Get man no Benjamin top. All them wicked things they say they go do, because they say they sure you did kill people too. Bye! I jump out my bed like a madman when I hear the information. I pick up my pen and say, crow, crow, you have to put this in Kaiser. But then I study slander and I study libel because they mentioned the Attorney General. But then I tell myself, crooks, you slate clean, cause you're simply reporting a dream. They say he did pay we to shoot and kill his head. He did pay we to make sure Alwyn King dead. He is one of the most wicked men that we know, responsible for more than half the men in death row. He did tell we if we kill Clint Huggins someday, he assure we bound to get away. But now we control the law, so he ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in here. And we go.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen.
We got to make him ball for weekdays
and how are we doing this afternoon? How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's another wonderful day in Grenada, though.
Then we go.
It is the 18th day of July. The time is approximately 2 minutes past the hour.
They say they sure you did kill people too.
And we are presently in the classroom. You're listening to Royalty James. Class is in session.
They say crooks, we know we do plenty, but crooks tell the public for we. Tell them that we are terribly sorry. But the Babulal family, but is he who encouraged me to do this? Is he used to say to kill the witness? I beg in all you, be careful with the chief, cause the Apola is worse than the thief. He defend we when PNM was there, soon as they slipped through, he throw we away. From since the days of Rama and the Fruit King, all them in jacket and tie, all them was stealing. The girl they find dead in the car trunk in Gulf City. Crooks tell the public, we know it was he. Murazi never quail, we cannot see well, so we waiting for him to be sure he coming in hell. And we go scratch him, and we go bash him. All them wrong things he do, he bound to regret. He got to know that there is life after death, and we go scrape him. Now we go take turns and we go. All them wicked things they're planning for you because they yeah.
Tall boy. What tall boy?
Gentlemen, we are back. We are back. A pleasant good afternoon. I know I just break for a little while there because I wanted to get something done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And you are joining Royalty James this afternoon. We are enjoying the classroom this afternoon. I hope everybody's doing particularly fine this afternoon. As I aforementioned, it's a wonderful day in Grenada. I am back after a few days away from you guys. I want to say good afternoon to everybody that is on the Facebook Live. A pleasant good afternoon for the persons that are on my YouTube page. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I am here, ladies and gentlemen, live and in living colors. You understand me? I have not gone anywhere. I want to say good evening to Cynthia Bartholomew. She says she's all the way in Holland. Good evening to you, ma'am. Good evening to you, Kimmy Clark. Amanda Charles, good evening. Glenda Robinson, good evening. Jennifer Prime Lewis, good evening to you. Christelle Theodore, good evening to you. Amanda Charles, I said Amanda already. Erla Hector, a good afternoon to you. To the many persons that are already on my Facebook page, I want to say good afternoon to you. Alban Harris, Gemma Warwood, Clive Raymond, Claude Abraham, Peter Francis, Henry Chaiton, Errol Bonaparte, good evening to you. Kathleen Lendor, good afternoon to each and every one of you guys. I hope that you're all having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And we are ready to blaze from the classroom now. Now this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start my evening if I don't do that this afternoon, I may not have any way to stay this evening. Because my daughter asked me to do this, ladies and gentlemen. And I ought to do this, all right? So please take a listening ear to my daughter, because she said to me, Daddy, she's setting this for me and she wants me to ensure that I play this, all right? So let me ensure that I fulfill the request of my daughter as I play this, ladies and gentlemen. Please listen.
Good afternoon, Daddy. I want you to play this song and video for everybody to hear. Daddy, I know there's a lot of violence going around in Grenada, so I want to tell your listeners to protect themselves and don't cause any trouble. And I want everybody to be safe, and God love you guys. And Daddy, I want you to have a wonderful day, and your listeners too, to have a wonderful day. And I love you guys. Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a short message from my daughter. I don't know what inspired her to ensure that she sent me that message, and she said to me, Daddy, I want you to play this message on your program. And it coincides generally with what is going on in Grenada right now. We know that we have heard of some incidents in Grenada that we have not heard in years. You're hearing 40 and 50-year-old persons mention that, hey, in all my years living within this country, this is shocking, right? And it kind of inspired her, because last night I was looking at the video with the incident, that's with the incident at conference, and she said to me, she's just, listening and just fine. She's hearing too much, right? And she's hearing a lot. And she said to me today, before I get to my program, because I was at home when I get to the program, and she was like, Daddy, I want you to play this for me, right? And when I listened to the voice note, I was like, I cannot, play this for you guys. You understand me? So this simply was the information that my daughter asked me to disseminate, and I hope that somebody somewhere would have listened. And she's basically saying that she's asking persons to have a safe carnival, right? And she is imploring that we, continue to love each other, and she reminded us that God loves us, all right? When I heard it initially, all right, it kind of brought this ticklish feelings to me. So it kind of had me emotional for a while, and then I was like, you know what, maybe I'm going to do that for you, all right? So, however, ladies and gentlemen, I know I have been away from the Facebook page for a long, long time. I know when I stay, I end on a Thursday, and you see me again next Tuesday. It's a long time, right? However, I was I was today, and you see, sometimes when I plan my programs, I don't know if it is faith or if it's coincidence or circumstances that usually is what cause, sometimes certain things to coincide, right? Now, if you listen to Mosquito Man's program this morning, he basically shared his opinion or his preference between what he have heard, what he believes in. And I realized that there is a buzz on Facebook about the situation. Now, I would not linger on this. I really would not linger on this, right? The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, it is scary that within our tri-island state that someone's preference causes defamation and verbal attacks. It is very, very, very sad. You understand me? Now, if an individual share their opinion and you see it happening not just in the political arena, no, it is going on to so many things. I am looking at Facebook and persons are preferring to support Boise for Soca Monarch that opposed to supporting Dash. And when you read the comments right under the level of defamation that persons would have for an individual saying, I prefer this than this, or I believe this happened because of this. People, these are simple opinions. This is what it is. An individual would go to a shop and every day persons can have preferences. There is nothing illegal about preferences and choices. You understand me? You look at simple conversations that persons may have difference in preferences and the level of verbal attacks that an individual may get, even in the notion, and you see, it started, and it is the embryo of all this. It is the embryo of all this. You see the political arena? I remember in the past, I was one of the persons who ever so often took it on Facebook when persons slurred and disrespected persons in authority. And I always said to them, let us pray that the day that the shoe does not go on the other foot. I am one of the persons that most of the times when you speak on it, you hear persons say, oh, but Dr. Mitchell used to do this. And at the time, you were hearing different radio programs and different persons sharing verbal slurs and videos as it relates to the then Prime Minister of this country. Some very much derogative, some obscene. You understand me? And it was the preference of individuals. And when you hear persons spoke about it before, and you ask about, like, why are you not having respect for the office of the individual? You would hear them come up with some smart defense. That maybe the political leader or the prime minister doesn't have respect for himself, or whatever they would go on. And it was accepted. No, it has become a state where persons cannot, and that is how I'm seeing it, like your personal preferences cannot be shared. And if you do that, especially in the forum that myself and others may do it, it is as if me and this person grew up years, so they know the entire story of my life and believe some way or the other that someday they would put their TV on and they would hear that, or the YouTube or Facebook on, and hear them saying that Royalty James program is no more. Well, let me say in local terminology, there you go stay. Because at the end of the day, I cannot understand why it is that you're looking through Facebook. Go way back 2019, 2017, when there were instances of maybe persons dying in Grenada. And look at some of the persons who had supported the now administration. Go look at their statuses. See what their opinion on the death rates in Grenada. And how much it was at the time that Dr. Mitchell was selling souls to win a general election. And it was okay then. It was okay then. You see, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, what you reap is what you sow. Because there were times my voice was too low. Dr. Mitchell being called Claudius. And video where persons are asking Dr. Mitchell to come and share the bush. And all kind of vulgar slurs. And there were other persons who were saying, come on. It simply calls for respect. And others was like, who is to respect the individual? And now you're looking at those persons' pages. And you're asking yourself, weren't that the same persons stating that Dr. Mitchell is doing this, that, or the other? People, we are one people. Speaking on political preference, this is life. This is life. Anywhere you go in the world, this is life. You would meet persons that are political activists anywhere you go throughout the length and breadth of this world. Anywhere you go, you would find political activists. Everybody cannot support the same side that you are. You hear me on my program. And at the end of the day, when I speak of the Prime Minister, I speak to his office. When I speak of any minister of government, I speak to their office. I am not here showing personal slurs and defamation to anybody. Everybody live their life at their own fancy. And I have people on my program that are grown and mature. And hence the reason why there are times I choose to take the maturity level to not be obscene and start doing this back and forth with you guys. Because there are a lot of Grenadians that are fueled by drama and social media pampalam. I was once there. And if you don't believe in growth and development, you can remain in that dark space that you are in. But I would continue speaking on political issues of the state in which I am in disagreement of. It won't stop now. It won't stop in the next 2 days. And damn hell as well, it will not stop by the end of the year. Put that in your smoke and pipe it. Persons' personal preferences as it relates to whom or whatever is in their simple personal choice. I go to the shop, I want brown sugar, I don't want white. I prefer that chocolate, I don't prefer this. These are preferences. So an individual this morning mentioning what he mentioned, I don't understand how me name in this thing, jumping up and down on it. Because at the end of the day, when I get here and I sit, you don't hear me calling any one of these ministers in any derogative name. Whatever in their past, I deal with the issues that our people are being faced with. I am not here speaking as to whether or not any one of them shot don't fit good or the pants don't fit good. And even if it is mentioned, might be in the gearing of humor. And you're here wanting persons or how to. I am not in no competition with anybody. So the personal opinion shared this morning by my dear brother is his preference, in which every individual must respect. You understand me? But anyways, let us move along. Let us move along, because at the end of the day, if you're going to speak on that, sometimes you spend the whole day. All right? Now, it is alarming, ladies and gentlemen, that today, after such a long cry and a long plea by our people as it relates to persons in the administrative position to have to address the issue as it relates to the rise in criminal practices, violent practices, and more so that of homicide and murder. We heard an address or a press conference that was held by the Prime Minister, Dickon Mitchell, today. Now, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. As a police officer, there are procedures that follows. I do a mobile patrol. I am expected to do a report at the end of my mobile patrol, give it to the most immediate supervisor, and it trickles up. Now, it is alarming today to hear that the Prime Minister was mentioning that the information as it relates to the items confiscated during Stop and Such during the Fisherman birthday did not meet his desk. Today is the 18th of July. The event held was the 29th of June. Now, when you listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, put your mind in this perspective. If you have a job right now and something happens at whatever level, and at your general meeting, your boss says he is unaware as to that which would have happened, what would be your take? What would come to mind as it relates to not just you, but the supervisor responsible for reporting to the boss? Now, it goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, that Grenada, to me, in my opinion, is being run on the basis as to how you feel and what should happen. Now, after, and I don't know if the procedures would have changed in the RGPF after I left, but I know that most time there is Stop and Such, traffic checks, persons on the traffic check, the most senior person would delegate someone to do a comprehensive report. That comprehensive report goes to the person who supervised the operations on the ground. He may put a cover note to it, or he may leave it as is and hand it to his immediate supervisor, which sometimes may be a sergeant, or sometimes it could be immediately or to the officer in charge of the station or department. This is how I knew it was. Understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if that had changed. Notwithstanding that the Prime Minister was not given that briefing, Facebook, the place where they enjoy so much, was plagued or have been plagued with so many different pictures and videos and other things and other comments, statement made by persons concerning the rise in crime and violent practices. Basically, at this press conference this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister basically is saying to the nation that the incidences that have happened in recent days and weeks was not reported to him or his ministry, which is the Ministry of National Security, by the Acting Commissioner of Police. This is what I believe, or the sentiment shared. Now, notwithstanding all of this, I know that the Prime Minister was out of the country. And I believe it is only protocol that if an individual is left in charge of your business place, that even if you're in the United States or wherever, even if it's a voice note or an email, then I expect you to shoot it to the boss and say, well, today we would have had, a lesser sale. Today we would have had more. Somebody fall on the job today and had to be rushed to the hospital. So many avenues to be given the knowledge as it relates to the rise in those incidences was not forthcoming to the Minister of national security. Now, with the level of victimization in this country, somebody might lose their job. Because at the end of the day, you first and foremost had the minister came last week and he addressed the issue, but he did it on a gender basis. Because what I gathered from his deliberations was simply that he was employing two young males or young men to cease and desist the violent practices. So the first address by the minister that spoke last week, what I gathered was his communication or deliberation was simply to ask our young men within the state to cease and desist. That is what I gathered, because he spoke about him being a father of boys, and he went on and on. Right? Now, you address the issue. Whatever means you now acknowledge that there has been an issue. Now, what is even more baffling? Your press conference was today. The Royal Grenada Police Force did a press briefing week before. And they too mentioned of the increase in violent practices, more so that of murder. So if the commissioner didn't do what he have to do, ministers of government didn't have to do, acting commissioner didn't do what he have to do, there was a press conference that was held by the RGPF, which spoke as it relates to what they were seeing as it relates to the rise, not only in murders, but every single, and listen to me, and go back and look at it, don't take my word for it. Listen to every single department that spoke during that day. And you would realize, ladies and gentlemen, that every single department within the Royal Grenada Police Force, because we are all speaking as it relates to murder and criminal and violent practices. Every single department within the Royal Grenada Police Force is reporting a high rate in many offenses. Traffic department and all others are reporting, and you come today and you speak as it relates to the violent crimes and the violent practices. I expected a lengthier deliberation. And at the end, what I always listened for is for you to give to the country suggestions as to which you may seem to want to implement towards the Royal Grenada Police Force, heightening in police officers within the different areas. I see when he was speaking today, somebody said the police officers should walk more. And you see, when we start speaking like this, you need to understand the state of mind of this country. Because we are thinking for ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, inhumane. Let me tell you all something. You see police officers around the carnival season, it is one of the hardest tasks to perform for some officers. The hardest task to perform. And I could only imagine for this year alone, with the rise in offenses, the amount of different liquor reports. Take it to mean, ladies and gentlemen, you work midnight to 8. Your next hour of duty may be 4 o'clock the evening. During your time to maybe take a little nap, you have to go and deal with 2 and 3 reports in different areas. And then you make a statement, maybe the police should work more. Because you see, there is this level of inhumanity within this country. Because you're looking on certain persons Facebook page, and you're hearing them saying, make these people in whatever ministry go. The persons within there is a set of NNP. Let them go. So because they're NNP, they're not Grenadians. Take them out on the seed program. Because them is NNP. They are not Grenadians. Let the police work. This police don't have a child, he don't have a mother, he just drop out from the sky and he end up here. And you have persons still saying to us that we are the ones that are derailed. Let me tell you all something. I tell all you, I am one person. I doesn't boast me talent, you know. But I have a little bit. So today, in my process of planning for today, I did a little poem because also recent somebody dropped me to a particular song. And it's a nice song. I like this song. Although the song nice. It is called In the Dark of the Sun. Sung by our famous Calypsonian in Grenada. Really nice song. But I'm not talented like them. Excuse me. To write a calypso. But I take the little studies that the teacher gave me in English class. So I know how to write poem. So I jotted a poem. And it goes like this. So the seed persons lost their 150 is fun. And I am in the dark of the sun. Victimization all around the tongue. And I am in the dark of the sun. Poor people being used as clung. And I am in the dark of the sun. People tell me, what is this? Are we really the ones needing a psychologist? Beautification all around. Very little is being done. And I'm in the dark of the sun. Our Prime Minister traveling up and down. Coming back here with none. And I'm in the dark of the sun. Well, maybe it is something I sip. Or maybe someone put me to sleep. Or better yet, maybe my eyes is in an eclipse. Well, if bi-monthly workers still struggle for pay, and the union leader can speak on NNP on May Day, then in the dark of the sun is where I will stay. I tell all you are full of talent. I can't sing. I don't have time to sing. But that is my poem. So if I am in the dark of the sun, and so many things are happening in Grenada, and I am in the dark of the sun, then ladies and gentlemen, let us stay there. Let us stay there. Bonji, somebody messaged me. They say read it again, they late. All your forcing me. Don't force me today. Don't force me today. So somebody say read it again for them. They say they want me to read it again. So I go read it. I'm watching the WhatsApp. So the seed persons lost their 150. It's fun. And I'm in the dark of the sun. Victimization all around the tongue. And I'm in the dark of the sun. Poor people being used as clung. And I'm in the dark of the sun. Well, people tell me, what is this? Are we really the ones needing a psychologist? Beautification all around with very little being done. And I am in the dark of the sun. Our PM traveling up and down. And he ain't coming back with none. And I'm in the dark of the sun. Well, maybe it's something I sip. Or maybe someone put me to sleep. Or maybe my eyes is an eclipse. Well, if bi-monthly workers can still struggle for pay, and the union leader can speak on NNP on May Day, then it's in the dark of the sun I will stay. So if it's in the dark of the sun, ladies and gentlemen, if it's in the dark of the sun, I have to stay and continue to do this work that I'm doing here. I ain't have no place to go. Let us stay in the dark of the sun, ladies and gentlemen. Let us stay in the dark of the sun. You can say to me that an administration, and this is what people are not understanding, you trying to politicize everything. On my program, I've given suggestions. I remember one time somebody called me and said, Prince, like, what happened? You're giving NDC all put the suggestions. People, this is Grenada, NNP or NDC. This is the Grenada I have to live in. This is the Grenada Layla and Javion has to live in. My children. And if there is displeasure, if there is things that I cannot speak about, then take me ID card when I come to vote, take it and show it. Don't make me vote. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I will not read that comment. I'm not reading it again. I am not, take it from me. I am not reading it again. But thank you very much for the congratulations. It was written by me. I tell you, I'm full of talent. But I am not here to boast. I am not here to boast, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, there are persons here from all walks. And you all are in the United States and all these places. A big company like Fox News. They speak as it relates to persons on Fox News. You understand me? You have to understand. You need to understand, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a strive to, at the end of the day, defamate anybody's character. No, this is not this. I am not joining the others and try to defamate anybody's character or call the Prime Minister in any kind of name. I am around the tongue. There are allegations going around. But ladies and gentlemen, there are things that are dealing with my people that I would want to say to them, yo, hold the faith. Now, one of the things that are not being spoken about also, because we all on the jaunty issue, as one of the issues that have not been, dealt with. Now, the fact of the matter is, there was an incident that happened. There was an incident that happened right in the town of St. George. And there is a video that shows an individual, well, I think he buried yesterday. It is allegations surrounding that either he was pushed or he fell, whatever happened. But he must have succumbed to the injury. Now, the allegations are that he's been pushed. Now, I have seen the video and there are questions that can be asked. That's all I would say. But I would really want to use my program to implore to the Royal Grenada Police Force to please look into that matter. Right? We don't want to discriminate that, okay, this person is that or this person is that of that level of life or whatever, in order to ensure that justice is being found for individuals. Now, all I'm saying, and I want you guys to listen to me, the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we need to, at the end of the day, treat everybody equal. Now, if it's somebody else's friend or family that would have succumbed to an injury of that nature and there are allegations surrounding it, we will want to invest it. Right? So if it means that persons can go out there and maybe ask of the Royal Grenada Police Force, maybe family members, to look into it. Right? You can look into it, simply, find out what would have happened. The gentleman, because I have seen the video, and trust me, it calls for question. So I would implore that the Royal Grenada Police Force look into that incident, the individual. I have seen a video, so it was circulating over Facebook. So I don't know whether or not, the RGPF have been privy to see the video, and I pray that they would get the opportunity to, and once they do, we see some form of investigation started. All right. Now, for the past 2 occasions on my program, I would have mentioned it as it relates to I must pause when I see that. Good afternoon to you, my wonderful wife. I see that you're on the live. Good afternoon to you, Andia James. How are you? I love you, and I'll see you home later on. All right? Yeah, once my wife reach, I go do that. You understand me? Baby, I love you. I love you. You understand me? I'm here. You know where they. All right? Good afternoon to you, Adia. I hope you enjoy the remainder of the day, babes. All right? Now, let us be very honest. Now, in whatever forum you want to put it in, whether or not government should not get involved, we have seen today that the strike actions by the Republic Bank workers has escalated. You can't run from that. This is getting a little bit more of a carnival setting than anything. Today somebody humored and said, we saw the first mass ban for the carnival. All right? Now, let me say this. This is Grenadians being affected. This is Grenadian families that are being affected. Now, we understand that, yes, and as I mentioned the preview, it may be an internal issue, but it is our dear brothers and sisters that are being faced with such. Now, the fact of the matter is, we know that government has engaged, and I believe there was some form of rejection based on having spoke to an actual worker at Republic Bank. But I believe at this stage, ladies and gentlemen, and you see, I does not want to make the comparison because I don't want to be like them and say, oh, it was an MP, and I don't want to do this. The fact of the matter is, there are persons, which is workers, that are being affected. The livelihood of individuals who have money that are saved in the bank are being affected. Now, what that is doing is affecting your economy, as small as you may believe that it is. Your economy, as it relates to financial circulation, is being affected. That alone as a government calls for concern. It means that people that may want to spend, they don't have the opportunity to. This is the simple mindset that an individual should come to. This is simple. This has nothing to do with blue, yellow, green, white, or who you support. This is simple Grenadians being affected. And I say Grenadians, not just the workers. As small as percentage, I am certain, and if you check it out, it could be a 10%, which could be a lot. You understand me? It could be a lot. Because you have a strike action that is affecting your economy. I know, we know it's an internal issue that there is very little that government may be able to put their foot down on it. But it is also an issue that government should, at this stage, realize that this is escalating. There are persons who might have received their cash today from payment. You understand me? Salaries earned, and they're not able to access it because of the strike action. Right? There might be vendors who might have saved their monies and maybe want to buy items for the upcoming week or the upcoming days that are being affected. Individuals that may want to assist their mother or their elderly father, their daughter, their son, and they're being affected. This is what should be in the front of your mind. Let's sometimes block politics. Sometimes just block politics and believing you're doing that because of politics. Sometimes you just need to be humane, ladies and gentlemen. That is all it calls for. It does not call for you to, oh, you want to be called. Let people say you want to be called the best prime minister. That is up to them. But sometimes your involvement can go a long way. And I've learned that in many different aspects. Sometimes as a constable, you go to deal with a report. And the report is escalating. As soon as somebody in khaki suit come, you see the situation quell. And you see sometimes your resources should be resourceful, right? So you want to ensure that you're curbing the issue not just for workers' sake, but so that the economy and the circulation of finances can happen. Because if we do the maths, I am certain that there is a 10% that is being affected. 10% to this economy in this trying time is a lot. 10% is a lot. And so it's not to politicize it, because at the end of the day, you're not seeing NNP candidates, the NNP candidates are there and they're jumping behind them. No. This is not it. Because you don't want to politicize something when it immediately just affects putting bread on the table for Grenadian people. And this is what you should see. This is what you should see. The issue continues to escalate. Let me say this again, because I am between places and looking at my comments and chatting with you guys. But let me say this to you. These persons are going to come. They are going to come. You understand me? Persons who support the other side, they are going to come. Because we're speaking as it relates to the Republic Bank conversation and how it affects our economy and our people and it relates to our day-to-day living. And you want to hear talking about the PM and his class. So the conversation should not even be entertained, because it is not the conversation that we're speaking about. So persons under the live, if you're interested in my conversation, this is what you should listen to. We know the Prime Minister is of a class. We are quite aware of that. We know that he's of a class. You understand me? Maybe not the same class that we're in, but we know for a fact that the Prime Minister is of a class. And we're not going to run from that. But if you're not going to give to the program as to what we're speaking about, then I don't see the purpose of you being here. Because we're not here speaking on whether or not who has class. You understand me? So they were blocked. Yeah, because you see, I sometimes try to, you see the persons that come sometimes with the conversations, the Mattis James and the Sunset Grenada and those persons, they come to have a conversation. They come to learn from or maybe speak to each other. This is what? You understand me? So this is what we want to focus on. Persons that could bring positive results to the conversation. You understand me? Now, there has been in recent days this, and you see, at the end of the day, when you say it is NNP that doing this, and is NNP, and NNP causing this, and NNP have distractors, right? It leaves you to wonder whether or not these people understand, that, listen to me, NNP doesn't need to do this. You think that the Prime Minister, the opposition leader, you understand me, is going to sit back and say, listen to me, let me go and pay people to speak something about on the news? I don't think so. Right? But however, I want to play this. I really want to play this. Because I don't think this is a NNP. This is not an NNP view. You understand me? This is not an NNP view. Alright, so let me just share this.
In closing up shop.
To be honest with you, the people in Grenada here, it is really hard. Things is really, really hard. I don't know what's going on in the country. Right now, Grenada, the streets on Melville Street, it's look like we could play cricket, but right now we don't have anything in the country. The country is too hard, to be honest with you, the people of Grenada and the people of the world. I don't know what is happening. So we need some solution toward this right now.
How are you coping?
Well, to be honest with you, I come in every day just to see how things going to be, if we're going to get any changes. But there's no changes right now.
He says the price of sugar has increased significantly, and sometimes it's a choice of buying fruits or sugar, since he can barely afford both.
Everybody know this is what the stew man do. Sell stews. I'm making mango and damsel, golden apple, plum, tamarind, breadfruit, just name the fruit. I do it in stews. But things so hard, so high now. Everything goes so high, which is the sugar, and everything goes so high. I can't even purchase the amount of fruits again and purchase the amount of sugar to continue doing this business. It seems to me like I may have to close it down.
Was that Dr. Mitchell? Was that Sheldon Scott? Was that Mosquito Man? Was that Carl Caton? Was that me? These are persons. Oh, that's a person, sorry. That his livelihood, and he's sharing his opinion on his livelihood. He's not here on a political basis. This is GBN interviewing him. This is not him at an NNP rally. You know? This is not him at an NNP rally. This is not neither one of the parliamentary representatives. This is a gentleman that have been doing this since I know myself in town. So he's been affected by the state as it relates to the economy of the state. That's a Grenadian. This is a gentleman trying to make a livelihood in Grenada. And if he's been affected, he may just be one person. He may be one person. But what it is, now let me say this. I know there is the notion about the handout and how NMP people like handout. Now, to the many persons who own jobs that they're not qualified to hold, that was a handout. You see, we are so minimal in thinking that if a minister give you $40, there's a handout. But there are handouts within so many different sectors. Persons given handout in so many different ways. A parliamentary rep crossing the floor and cannot own a job properly within the ministry and just given a pankwai as a secretary. That's a handout. So when we put things into perspective, ladies and gentlemen, if the belief to you is that an individual hates so much that we have to sometimes pick up a gun, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't necessarily mean that. This is not the focus, people. We have gone through persons like Jericho. May his soul rest in peace. And he shared his opinions as it relates to when NNP was in power. When NDC came in power, he sing a parang on them. Now that is being able to focus on what is, not what is supposed to be. Some people in the back of their minds like, NDC, oh, Jesus, what a wonderful place. And as I mentioned yesterday, Now, when we have a peaceful carnival, then you hear they say, the RGPF did a wonderful job. When we have a prayerful society, we say, the church is doing a wonderful job. We have healthy people. The ministry of health is doing a wonderful job. But whenever there is bad, you blame the individual. Why is that? So there is a rise in crime, and the RGPF should not be blamed. But when there is no crime, the RGPF should be praised. How is that? Persons are acting in so many kind of mythological ways. Things that you're wondering, like, what is happening? What is you're asking yourself, what is happening? But you should not get the church involved. But when everything is peaceful and nice, oh, Grenada is a Christian society, man. So when it is good, the system praises the organization responsible. But when it is bad, you blame the individual. How is that justifiable? How is that justifiable? And you see, now you have people going on Facebook and you hear them mentioning, well, what's going on in the country, what it is. It could be, and they're blaming government. And then persons are defending, well, what government have to do with that? But when it is peaceful, government gets the praise. So when it is bad, we should blame the people? Put that in your smoke and pipe it. Think about it in that light, ladies and gentlemen. Then why is it? Why should it be that when it is all good, the organization responsible or the entity responsible gets the praise? But when it is bad, individuals are being blamed. Look into that, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So, the seed program, we're waiting the recertification. I would address on that on the next program. I must say, ladies and gentlemen, before I end, I would be putting my uncle to rest tomorrow. That's at Victoria St. Mark's. It will be his service. And so there would not be any program tomorrow. So I don't think I would say that today, because the last time I said it, something happened. So I'm hoping not to say today. But if not, I can join a brother in the morning and maybe we could converse. But anyway, there will not be any program tomorrow. I would be putting my uncle to rest. May his soul rest in peace to the James family out there in Victoria. I want to again say my condolences to you guys, and we hope to keep strong until the date of burial. All right, and we stick together as a family. All right. So, with that being said, so the seed persons lost the 150, and it's fun, and I am in the dark of the sun. Victimization all around the tongue, and I'm in the dark of the sun. Poor people being used as clung, and I'm in the dark of the sun. Well, people, tell me this. Are we the ones really needing a psychologist? Beautification all around with very little being done, and I'm in the dark of the sun. Our PM traveling up and down, coming back here with none, and I'm in the dark of the sun. Well, maybe it's something I sip, or maybe somebody put me to sleep, or better yet, maybe my eyes is in an eclipse. Well, if bi-monthly workers still struggle for pay, and the union leader can speak on NNP on May Day, then in the dark of the sun is where I will stay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I can tell you it was a poem written by me. You understand me? I can show you. You understand what I'm saying? I can show you guys that it was really a poem written by me. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to, as per usual, thank you for giving me a listening ear for another evening. It is not a demand. If you enjoy what you hear, I want you to continue to come back here. Right? If you do enjoy what you hear whenever my program is being broadcast, don't be afraid that when I share the link on Facebook, that you come and you enjoy the program. All right, ladies and gentlemen, by God's grace, as I said, I will be back here on Thursday. It is 7 o'clock. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, and before I go, maybe I should do this. I want to say, Miss Ferguson, I want you to link me because I can't recall whether or not you collect your thing. I don't know whether or not you collected your stuff, but I want to say to you that you can still get your stuff. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to be the person to do that. However, last week when I mentioned this, a lot of persons was not here. So I want to say one of the persons that are making my program possible is G Burger. They are located on Wall Street in Grandlands, and so they're open on Monday and Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Wednesdays, they're open on Wednesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. until, and on Fridays and Saturdays from 6 p.m. until. So you can go check them out. You can get your burgers right there. They have a varying in prices. You can call them on 536-7375. All right. And last week, I gave away a burger. Yes, because every program, he says, not every program, he say, choose one day in your program and give somebody. And last week, I want to say congratulations to Miss Marilyn Ferguson, who would have obtained her burger. All right. And today, I want to give away a burger, boy. I want to give away a burger today. It is a tough choice. But however, Shums hosting, I'm hoping that you're in Grenada. Shums hosting, the person who holds that profile, please indicate to me whether or not you are in Grenada. And if you're in Grenada, please take this number right now, 536-7375. You can call this number and you would be able to get yourself one burger of your choice. Miss Marilyn Ferguson, if you did not get that number as yet, please take this number and you can get your burger still. All right. So Shums, you in Grenada. Wonderful. So I'm going to say the number again. You and Miss Ferguson, please take this number. I would indicate to the individual who will be collecting the burger. So that number again, 536-7375, and you can get yourself a free burger. Continue to listen to the classroom. I tell all you, I'm not here for this. I'm not here for competition. If they're a person that are loving the program, person that are being influenced by what they hear and they're enjoying it, this is what I'm here for. I'm not here to, as old people will say, bangarang with anybody. All right. So don't forget, we have a list of activities coming up. Don't forget the St. Patrick's West. They're having a cruise, sassy and sexy. That will be on the 29th of July. If you're there, I'm going to be there. Let's go have some fun, man. There is Dinem and Diamond on July 22nd. That would be at Scrampy's Bar or Scrampy's Entertainment Center. That is in Subies. Donna and Pinky, big up your guys' self. So you're going to be a part of this one. Don't forget, there is one of the biggest events coming up in Grenada. Don't miss it also. You can enjoy August 14th. My birthday. I'm on the carnage. It's my birthday. Government give me a whole holiday to play a mass. So we are going to enjoy this also, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, I want to say thank you very much for giving me a listening ear for another wonderful evening. I am sorry if I did not make your day. I am sorry whether or not you did not enjoy your day. But I can tell you guys, I had a wonderful day. And by God's grace, I want to say have yourself a wonderful evening. Let me remind you guys that there would be no class tomorrow evening. To my persons that was on my Facebook page. Good afternoon to you, Janice Mitchell. I'm seeing you right there. Gillette, Glennet. I want to make sure I get all your name right. Next thing, I'll hit me in the tongue and hit me. All right. So on the next program, I would want to give away a burger to somebody on my, last week I gave on my YouTube page. Yes. So this week it was supposed to be my Facebook page. So good afternoon to the people on my YouTube page. This was one of the evenings I enjoyed being here with you guys. We are going to link up again Thursday. Remember, no class tomorrow. I am going to put my uncle to rest tomorrow. So there would be no class tomorrow. I would be at Victoria and St. Mark. So if you're looking for me, I am in the best parish in the world. All right. So don't forget, on Thursday, we would speak a little bit about the seed program. We elaborate again on many incidents that are happening within the state. And I want to touch on an incident that happened in Victoria on Sunday. And I'm getting more information as it relates to it. I didn't want to speak on it today, but I believe there are persons who have a lot of opinions on this. And if that is what happened, I do have my very own to say on this. All right? So without further ado, I want to say a blessed evening to each and every one of you. Again, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And God's blessings to you and your entire family. Royalty James, I am out.
I hear hopes I see Joey Ramai. I say, who you calling by me? I see Robin Gopal and Eversley. Ramkila one sing and Dolce. Bagwan didn't sing crying like a baby. Ram sing Thomas and Sanka early. I dreamt I met these 9 men on death row. They tell the public in case they go. They say it pay we to kill Errol Spencer. It pay we to talk to Escobar. All them drug money we give UNC. You know they come back and arrest the hangman on we. They did pay we more than 90,000 to get rid of Selwyn Richardson. But now we controls the law, so you ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in hell. And we go grab him, and we go stab him. We waiting patiently to give him trouble. We go choke him penis with a needle, and we go lock him. Get man no Benjamin top. All them wicked things they say they go do, because they say they sure you did kill people too. Bye. I jump out my bed like a madman when I hear the information. I pick up my pen and say, crow, crow, you have to put this in Kaiser. But then I study slander and I study libel because they mention the Attorney General. But then I tell myself, crooks, you slate clean, cause you're simply reporting a dream. They say he did pay we to shoot and kill his head. He did pay we to make sure Alwyn King dead. He is one of the most wicked men that we know, responsible for more than half the men in death row. He did tell we if we kill Clint Huggins someday, he assure we bound to get away. But now we control the law, so he ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in here. And we go woo him, and we go school. We go to make him ball for weeks, days and nights. Then he go know the wrong things for human rights. And we go pull him. Then we go. All them wicked things they're planning for you, because they say they sure you did kill people too. They say crooks, we know we do plenty, but crooks tell the public for we. Tell them that we are terribly sorry for the Babulal family. But is he who encouraged me to do this? Is he used to say to kill the witness? I beg in all you, be careful with the chief, cause the Apola is worse than the thief. He defend we when P&M was there. Soon as they slipped through, he throw we away. From since the days of Rama and the Fruit King, all them in jacket and tie, all them was dealing. The girl they find dead in the car trunk in Gulf City. Crooks tell the public, we know it was he. Murazi never quail, we cannot see well, so we waiting for him to be sure he coming in hell. And we go scratch him, and we go bash him. All them wrong things he do, he bound to regret. He got to know that there is life after death, and we go scrape him. Now we go take turns and we go. All them wicked things they're planning for you because they
Crow, crow.
yeah.
Tall boy. Oh, tall boy.
I jump out my bed like a madman when I hear the information. I pick up my pen, I say, crow, crow, you have to put this in Kaiser. But then I study slander and I study libel because they mention the Attorney General. But then I tell myself, crooks, you slate clean cause you're simply reporting a dream. They say he'll pay we to shoot and kill his head. He did pay we to make sure Alvin King dead. He is one of the most wicked men that we know, responsible for more than a half the men in death row. He did tell we if we kill Clint Hawkins someday, he assure we bound to get away. But now we get big and swell, so you ring the bell, but we waiting for him to be sure he come in hell. And we go grab him, and we go stab him. We're going to make him ball for weeks, days and nights. Then he go know the wrong things about human rights, and we go lock him. Yeah, man, no Benjamin to forget that. All them wicked things they say they go do because they say they sure you did kill people. You get it?